Hello and welcome back. I've been doing a bunch of research and I'm getting a series of videos ready to tell the story of the lords of the world. And the Bible is going to be my main source of evidence. And I promise you it'll be a Bible study that you've never dreamed of. And the question that I guess will be on everyone's mind is it the truth? And so I believe then it might be a good idea now to examine the truth in a different light. Truth is good. Because if something is true, then it always has been and always will be. If something is not true, then not only has it never been true, but it also never will be. And one of the conflicts that has plagued mankind for over 6,000 years of organized violence with heavy emphasis on religion and politics is the difference between good and evil. Truth is good. Evil is reality. And, I have been surrounded by reality all my life, and it damn near killed me because the things I believed weren't true. And of course, being an honest person, I'm always true to my beliefs. But my beliefs were sometimes way out in left field, and of course that's because I'm alcoholic, thankfully a recovering alcoholic with almost 33 good years that are just nothing but a gift from the Great Spirit. And I believe that the time has been given me to try to do something useful in the world, and this is it. I've been at this for the past 40 years. And it just turned out to be such a fascinating study. I remember when I told people, not very many people, by the way, know anything about what I've been doing, but some people did, and when I would tell them that I'd been working on this alone, they'd say, working alone? Like some monk in a freezing to death in a cell with a goose quill pen trying to copy a manuscript by candlelight. No. It's because it has been such a fascinating, such an interesting, and sometimes a very humorous study. It's a hobby, you might say. At least approached as a hobby. And I've had the occasion to change my outlook on life and to respond to some better realities, those that approach the truth. Because you see, reality is evil, but it's not bad. It's just about appearances. What something sounds like, what it looks like, in other words, what it appears to be. And we recognize truth by appearance. If I tell you, well, gravity works the same way everywhere in the world, that's true. It's also real because you can hold something out over the floor, let go of it, and watch what happens. But reality is evil because appearances can be deceiving. And I guess the big difference is that when reality is used to hide the truth, then look out. Now, reality is not bad. If I tell you that I have a bridge back east that I'll sell you, or there's some nice ocean property in Wyoming, well, then, of course, you know I'm not telling you the truth. I'm lying. Because when somebody isn't telling the truth, they're lying. But not always, you see. Back in, I guess it was 1972, 40 years ago at least, I was watching the Watergate hearings, and one of the witnesses was former presidential advisor or presidential advisor John Ehrlichman. And during the interrogation, or during his time as a witness, some statements that he made were brought to light that were untrue. He didn't tell the truth. But was he a liar? Well, not according to him, you see, because his statements were just inaccurate, inoperative. So it sounds ridiculous, but that's the way it is. And we throughout this same over 6,000 years of organized violence, we are a very conflicted species. And we're always butting heads together, and we're always looking for differences rather than similarities. Like, for instance, the battle of the sexes. You know, men and women are different. They're opposite sex, right? Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think so, because my experience is that the sexes are complements of one another. Each brings to a relationship their own particular way of thinking and way of doing things, and their talents and ideas. And when they're seen to mesh together, combining their gifts and reinforcing one another through those gifts, then you have some damn decent relationships. And I've had some decent, pretty nice relationships. And what made them nice was that they brought out the best in me. And sometimes that wasn't too easy to do, because I was a crazy drunk for a long time. So you hear people talk about having different versions of the truth. Well, that's nonsense. There's only one truth. An interpretation of the truth, or so-called interpretation, is really a reality. It's the way people interpret things. I don't know if anyone actually believed that there was oceanfront property in Wyoming, or that John Ehrlichman wasn't lying, and so many other examples that I could point out where reality is deceptive. And one of the greatest deceptions, just like the opposite or the battle of the sexes is that good and evil are opposites. Oh no, 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 no. See, because the Great Spirit, who is all things everywhere and in all things everywhere, is only good. There is no bad. Good and evil are complements of one another. Because how can you recognize the truth if you don't see it, or if you don't hear it? So that's going to be a critical issue when it comes to the videos that I'm getting ready to present. And it'll have charts. Of course, I'm still limited in graphics capability. I just don't have the computing power to really do some editing and some washes and like that. But I'll do the best I can. Only now I'll tell you the truth. That this may not be for you. And the truth is this: that there's only two ways that people are going to perceive this. Story of the Bible and the lords of the world. And that will be either by considering it or dismissing. Yeah or no. And that will depend on whether the information I come out with is greeted by ignorance or stupidity. There's a difference. See, ignorance says, I don't know. Stupidity says, I don't want to know. So, if you're so imprisoned by the bullshit that you've been taught by organized religion, then this isn't for you. Because let's remember that until about 500 years ago, there was one blanket answer for every experience that our race was subject to. Plagues, pestilence, natural disasters, wars, rumors of wars. Whatever happened was the will of God. God's will, if you will. And Mother Church didn't look on it very, very kindly if you suggested that perhaps there's a logical explanation for, high winds, storms, fires that just seem to break out. That there's a rational explanation for these things that we always have habitually treated as God's will. Well then, in no time flat, you earn the title of heretic, and you'll be subject to torture, which is, I think, another euphemism for it is re-education. And if the torture didn't take and you stuck to your belief, then there's a good chance that you'd be the guest of honor at the next village bonfire. So, that's where we are right now. And I look to a free world coming along, and we're beginning to move in that direction. And instead of being masses of sheep controlled and manipulated by the psychopaths in government who, well, if we can't declare a war, we'll just call it a police action. Of course, you still have tanks and planes and artillery and rockets and soldiers shooting at each other. But it's not a war, it's a police action, like Korea was. And like Vietnam, the one question that nobody was able to answer is, what in the hell are we doing here? That cost us 50,000 lives too, let's not forget that. So I'm inviting you to take the journey with me, to throw off the shackles and the blinders, to become what you were originally intended to be: a free spirit, a standalone Lord in your own right, and to go on into the sunlight of a bright future, free from the stresses, the conflicts, the worries, the concerns that plague people today. It's a shame. Look at the economic situation. And the fact is that there's a very simple solution. It's not as bad as you think it is, but the people with the stuffed shirts and the talking heads don't know what they're talking about. They lie to you. One of the prominent lies, and it's one of the points that I disagree with former Congressman Ron Paul, and that is about the gold standard. Gold is a hedge against inflation. And now with the dollar under threat, why, gosh, you better go out and buy some gold, because it's a hedge against inflation, and you got to protect yourself. But if that's true, then why, if you go to a dealer to buy gold, why does he accept in payment the very currency he says is going to inflate? If it were true, I'd hang on to the gold myself. I wouldn't trade it for the very thing that I'm telling you is going to inflate. Well, anyway, I'll close now. Thank you for stopping by. And be on the lookout for the next series of videos, which I haven't decided on the title yet. But I hope that you will accept it in the spirit in which it is offered, to help us come out of the darkness, to close the door finally on the ignorance and superstition that keeps us locked into a dark age, that we keep flattering ourselves that we've come out of. Oh no, we haven't. As long as there are perpetrators and victims, then we still have a lot to do. And this is just my little contribution to the general good. And maybe it's my mission in life, I don't know. But anyway, in case nobody told you they love you today, I love you. And I wish you to have the very best of everything. And today, have the best day ever. So long for now.